understand anything that's going on, check out my son Nach TV.
With my homie, covering all bases, preaching all black, they come from the hard places. With my homie, they be deep in the hood, like a mechanic trying to make sure these peoples is good. With my homie, independent in the struggle, focused on the hustle and the cipher and the huddle. With my homie, in every city. With my homie, let's get it lit, shit. Back in effect with my brother, man, Shadarach, man.
Shalom, everybody, Shadarach.
Alright, so tell the people who you are and where you from.
I'm Peace Officer Shadarach from the Cali camp, Officer 500. Basically, you know, out here in Southern California.
Right.
I currently live out in Long Beach. You know, trying to get some brothers started up out there.
Right.
You know, I got a young man I'm working with out there.
Shout out to him.
Trying to get him, you know, full up in this truth. Yeah, he about ready to get his Hebrew name pretty soon.
I hear that.
And basically, I got some other people that's interested in the school, but the nature of my how you say it, my employment, I have to watch that because
Your slavery.
Where my slaves, right? You know, I have to put the line in between that, or else I'd have a whole lot more people involved.
I hear that.
You know, as now, that's what I do. I'm supporting the Nevada, out of Nevada, the Nevada school. So I go out there. I'm about to go out there tomorrow to teach. Basically, that's what we do. You know, we do the Wednesday. I believe it's the Wednesday law class. Yeah.
All right. So you pretty much, you know what I mean, man, in you know what I mean, Nevada and doing your thing in LA as well, right? Right. All right. So man, question. Tell the people how'd you find the truth? Like what was that? What made you walk into the truth? Like where was? Tell the people that.
Well, you know, mine is kind of a long story.
All right. Well, give us the short. We'll give us a good version.
Let me give you the version that started like in my family. We were going to a church that, you know, knew that you should keep these laws in the Bible.
Right.
They knew that you shouldn't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. So I was fortunate enough to come from a house that didn't eat that stuff.
Right.
My mother's like from Georgia, it's crazy. And she never even had a pork chop in my house, ever, between me and my brothers. We talking 60 years. You know, I mean, I'm not 60, but still 60 years somewhere around there, my oldest brother. But, you know, and they would observe Saturdays. But the difference from that Christian church was that they never told they never told me my identity.
Right.
They never told me that I'm from the tribe of Judah. They never told me that I was one of the God's chosen people. Right. You know, and it was, you know, basically your basic Christian type of thing. So, long story short, I had a rib that passed away, and my rib that passed away, what happened that I started looking into different things. I started studying everything, the Kabbalah, the Emerald tablets, I read Planet X. I was just looking, trying to find out what is this thing about death, you know. And so I started looking. I had a friend in the what do you call it? The 12-step program. Right. He was going to the group Ben Amin's group, and you know. I spoke with him, and we went out there, and I started joining with them for a little while. But after a while, there was still something missing, you know. So I was looking online, and I came up looking at different various Hebrew Israelite groups, and I saw, you know, IUIC, GMS, and AOC, different groups like that. And but what struck me when I saw One West, when I saw Isupk, I saw how militant they were. Right. I saw all of the discipline, the militance, and the answers to my questions. You know, I remember seeing Captain Shadarach go up against an African out there in
Shout out to Captain Shadarach too.
Captain Shadarach, he went out, he'd go deep, and I've always had my Bible when I looked at these things, and I knew because of that church I was in, we used to go home with like 50 different scriptures, right? You know, so I read the Bible a lot even when I wasn't in ISUPK, so I knew some of the stories of the Bible, so it didn't strike me odd as to what ISUPK was doing. And then when I started doing that, and seeing that what Shadarach was saying was true, what Tahawar was saying was true. I saw Tahawar tear up GMS, and I saw him stand firm when the brothers came up against the camp. Right. And I dug that. And I saw how righteous it was. I saw how right it was, and then the things that they were saying. So I started buying the books because I always like to read. I bought books piece by piece. I was buying some of the books, and I would see where what they were saying in camp was direct relationship with the book, and then direct relationship with the scriptures. Right. So I bought more and more books. So coming in, I couldn't get hold of my camp leader now, Captain Gadahar, at first. But actually, I was looking for any Hebrew Israelite group at that time. Captain Gadahar. You know, at that time, I was just looking for any group, the Hebrew Israelites. I couldn't find nobody, but the Most High did this. Right. That one day, Cap called, he answered the phone, and then he told me and gave me instructions of what to do. And I would always be in class. I used to always go to class. I'd go to class and sign in, young man Ray, coming in from California. Right. You know, then after a while, you know, he was like, you've been doing this just like they say, you know, in great consistency. So he gave me my Hebrew name, and then I started coming into camp. I didn't turn nothing down. You know, and I went in the Hebrew Academy. Of course, got my jacket, and did my Hebrew trials in New York in the Bronx at that time. About 3 years ago.
That was a rough job.
That was the roughest thing. And I mean, I went through Marine Corps boot camp, the famous Paris Island Marine Corps boot camp. That was nothing compared to the trials to me. The trials was off the chain.
I was there with you. I remember Gadahar put us through the ringer that day.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right,
I was there together.
Exactly, man. Yeah, we went through Hebrew trials, and of course you did too. And we went through it, you know, and that was hard. That was hard work. And I remember catching 2 Charlie horses in both of my legs.
Both legs.
I couldn't run straight. I had to jump up and bounce. I bounced through the whole Hebrew trials, bouncing up and down so I don't get a cramp, because I didn't want to quit. Right. You know, I did not want to quit, so I endured through the whole thing. But they was hurting the hell out of me. Hurting the hell out of my leg. And I got through. I did my Hebrew trials, and you know, coming in the truth, I would listen also to General Muhammad, and I used to think in my mind, why is he saying it like that? Right. Why is he saying it with such authority? Right. Who do you think he is? Yeah, right. You know, almost like that. But I started realizing, and as I kept looking and listening, General Muhammad. Big shout out to General Muhammad too. Like, wow, man, that's the reason I know now. That's why he talks like he talks. Right. You know what I mean? These men of the Lord are serious about this. The truth is serious, and you know, seeing the masculine side of the truth and what type of man I should be, man. I said I need to be with these brothers. I don't need to be, you know, with these dudes wearing the purple and all of that. You know, that does look weak. That is weak. Right. You know, and the strength of the UPK. That's how I stayed. I came in and stayed. It's like, man, every day I'm really thankful to be in the truth.
Most great. So some brothers, man, they gotta make a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a choice. You holding up a blunt and a Bible, and you looking at both, like, you know what I'm saying, looking at one to look at the other, look at one, look at the other. Was it a point in time where you ever had to make that choice, like, you know what, I'm just gonna rock with this Bible, and I'm gonna just go as far as I could go with this Bible? Did you ever have to make like that deciding moment? Did you have the deciding moment?
Well, a deciding moment as far as being in the truth?
Yeah, like coming in.
When I first came in, no, I was ready. I mean, I'm not saying that I was easy or whatever, you know, fortunate and all that. I was really ready to be in this truth. I was ready. The only thing I can remember was when, you know, like the way you said it, the blunt or the Bible. I remember cigarettes or working out. Right. That was the thing for me when I was, you know, I was a drug addict for a few years, many years actually, and I had to decide that once I got clean. You know, do I want to continue? Because I picked up a habit of smoking cigarettes all the time, because at the time I was smoking drugs. So I replaced that with that. Then when I got clean and sober, I said, well, I need to drop cigarettes and start exercising. Right. And that helped me through the trials too.
So let me ask you a question. Okay, if you wouldn't mind going in further about what you mean, like when you say you was, you had the you had an addiction or whatever. If you don't mind going in, like, cause what we really trying to say here is people just like you all over the world that's seeing this random person, Wichita, Kansas, Chicago, Philadelphia, New York City. Anybody could be watching this video. They might walk through your trials in life. And now you sitting here in front of us, priest and officer, Shadarach. You feel what I'm saying? But you came through hell, you came through the mud. And if you wouldn't mind, like, giving the people some insight on what you had to come through coming into the truth.
Oh, some of the things I went through.
Yeah.
Well, I coming into the truth. Like I said, I had my wife of 4 years passed away. She had a brain aneurysm.
Oh man.
And I had to go through that. I had to, it was the first time in my life I had to separate a house with stepkids and my kids and live in a room. You know, the Most High was with me because my neighbors saw what I went through. And, going through the hell, I had gotten into a fight, a knife fight. And I got stabbed up, not stabbed up, slashed up a little bit, and that type of thing I went through coming in the truth, dealing with that, dealing with death, dealing with starting the life over again.
Right.
And then basically this recession that they went into back in the day, losing jobs in between jobs, and I had a brother I had to take care of. That was he was an alcoholic. So all of his stuff was his body was failing him at times. He was very he needed help. So I had to do two things. I had to get myself straight and that and help my brother, and and then I had another brother that's both of us were addicted to drugs and alcohol. That was the life that we lived coming out of New York, coming out of Los Angeles and all of that. And just a lot of different job employment issues with bosses and people acting funny and folding on you. Another one of the bigger things is like my sons and things. My son right now, I have two sons in the penitentiary right now, and them coming back to live with me was a definite challenge. My son at the Passover, my son destroyed my car, totaled my car. I had a 2017 Impala.
Wow.
Just got the car.
I remember that. That was last year, wasn't it?
That was last Passover.
Yeah.
Got the car totaled, completely totaled. I had just put a $300 tint on the car. And I had to go through that and then go into a new job from there, from one job to another job from there. Because my other job, where I worked at the VA hospital, and I got laid off. And when I got laid off, I had to find some other work as well. So
it was hell coming. It was hell coming into the truth, like for the most part.
Yeah, it's a lot of tests.
Yeah, a lot of trials.
Tests.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like, and another thing, you lived in New York and you lived in LA, right?
Yes.
So what's the difference? What you think the difference between New York and LA? I heard you said before, you say you don't like LA. Yeah.
What, Shadarach?
Yeah.
I know, but I don't.
I mean, you're gonna hold that against Shadarach.
They're gonna hold that against me for sure. But I just it's like I've been to a lot of states. I did a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
And there's certain things you like certain things out of LA I do like. It's not like a total loss.
Yeah. I ain't gonna tell you.
But well, one thing is like the freeways. The congestion of just the car, the bumper traffic.
Right.
And then that you gotta get. I mean, I know they got trains and everything, but the trains in the city in New York is more accurate. Like you get to closer to your destinations. At least when I was living in New York.
Right.
I'm more of old school New York.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know it changed. I feel like I'm a tourist when I go back there.
Right.
So it's just the difference of that and knowing where to go to eat. That's another thing. Don't know where to go to eat in New York. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
So I go to a place I'm more likely to get tourist food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a difference like that. It's the the familiarity.
Familiarity or something like that.
Yeah, familiarity.
Right.
It's just those type of things, because I wasn't a young man in California, not a real young man in California. I was a young man living in New York. So that's another difference with like a lot of my friends. I don't even know if they still live there myself.
Right.
You know, but back then that was familiar to me. I guess it's just things that are familiar to you.
Yeah, and you also said you was in the military too before, right? You was in the Marines, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
What made you want to go into that lifestyle?
Well, at that time, just like any other young black, young so-called Negro, young so-called Hispanic man,
Right.
a place to live, money.
Would you say it was more for survival?
Survival. Right, survival. I had a friend, and another reason I went to the Marines is because my friend was a 7th Green Beret in the Army.
Right.
And he always wanted me to go into the Army.
Right.
But when I got to the MEP station at the moment of truth, I said, if I'm gonna die and go in here, there's a good chance I'm gonna die. So I said, I'm gonna die with the best killers.
That's hard.
And that's why I'm in Isupk.
That's hard.
I'm dying with the best.
That's hard. I wish you could get a brother a hand. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man.
So why?
Shadarach, anything else you want to tell the people, man?
Okay, to tell the people, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Isupk is the home of the truth. Right. If you really want to get all the answers to your life, man, this is real talk. It's worth it coming in here. It's worth it getting in here and understanding. You know, get into this truth full-fledged. Don't go halfway. Don't half step on nothing.
Right.
Go full with your full heart.
Right.
And then you'll find what you need, because the Lord gonna give you everything.
Right.
You know, it's righteous. It's gonna be something righteous with the brothers here. This brotherhood. I'm not going anywhere else. It stops here, because this is where our nation is gonna be rebuilt. Our nation will be rebuilt right here in Isupk.
And what y'all seeing right here, man, y'all seeing a brother that came through the mud, man. I know personally myself, man, he came through it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if this brother could do it, I'm sure we all know that it could be done. You know what I'm saying? Any brother can do exactly what this brother did. You mean? Because this is a strong dude right here. Maybe they can't, Shadarach. What you think?
I think they could do it.
I think they could do it too,
I think
man.
they could do it, because you know your motivation behind your sheer motivation, man.
Right.
That's what counts. That's where you find the Most High like that.
Right.
Your motivation, find out what the truth is.
Right.
When I looked into this truth, I looked all the way in. I just didn't half step it. That's how I am. I wanna hear the whole truth.
Right.
I don't need to hear no lies.
Right.
I want to get and find out what is A all the way through to Z.
Right.
And this is where the home of the truth. The brothers right here will fix you and clean you up.
Alright, man. That was Shadarach, man. We're gonna get up out of here. Y'all spread die.
Shalom, Yabashim Shabbat.
We got represent for the culture. Niggas coming out here with all this funny color hair, skinny jeans and shit. Fuck that, nigga. We taking it back to the fringes. Motherfucking Spikes, nigga, representing for the Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? Angry Black Man Media, nigga. We getting it in. We bringing that real shit back.
I match my guns with the sneaks. That's my fashion week. Go ask the streets. Dog, we got massive beef. We pass elite. Play this on blast, repeat. Let it go worldwide, let the masses peep. I don't care if she thick or her ass petite. She want war with the D, she a casualty. Long as she don't got no limits like I'm Master P. Fucking bitches! Blue stick style!
No, do that shit over again. I had one last line.
You know I'm squeezing on triggers, my bullets hitting you. You won't heal up with stitches. You don't want that, you don't wanna get your skull cracked. Better tighten up when a nigga tell you fall back. Titties on the drum, you a sucker, give you all that. When you stand tall at, that's where you gon' fall at.